Here's a question for you. What do you get when you cross the Road Warrior with Who's Yours and throw in A Boy and His Dog? Well, you get today's film, The Salute of the Jugger, also known as The Blood of Heroes. There are so many movie genres like action, romance, fantasy, and horror. One genre that I'm not usually drawn to is sports, because I feel, as with romance, that there are only two outcomes, win or lose. The couple gets together or the couple breaks up. The athlete or team wins or they lose and still learn and grow. In a sports film, the story might be moving, the action might be impressive, but the ending is always a little predictable. This is not in itself a bad thing. When I watched Titanic, I already knew that, spoilers, the ship sinks. And since in the film we see the old lady in the present day scenes, I knew she would survive that sinking. It was still a very fun film to watch, though. However, another potential drawback of a sports film is my level of knowledge or interest in the particular sport and how compelling it can come across on screen. Those are some reasons why I'm not usually attracted to sports films on the whole. Yet, The Salute of the Jugger is different, for me anyway. I've seen it countless times, yet whenever I watch it, I don't blink. I marvel at what I'm seeing from start to finish. So how does it start and how does it finish? I don't want to give too much away, but let's see. Okay, picture this. A wasteland. Villagers are toiling away in dry fields, in the sun and sand. It is a harsh world, and survival is hard. A boy sees figures approaching. These figures are menacing and carrying what looks like vicious weapons. The boy runs back to the village shouting, "They're coming! Joggers! Joggers are coming!" What does this mean? Are they bandits? Will they attack the village? The village prepares a response, a group of men with equally frightening weapons, and the two groups face off. They are teams. They are juggers. They play the game. Garbed in armor made from the remnants of a broken world, like car tires and chains, these players have only one goal: put a dog skull on a stake. This is post-apocalypse, like the Mad Max universe or the setting of A Boy and His Dog. But this is not discussed or dwelled upon in the film. The fall of the old world was long ago, and no one alive today remembers how things used to be. We hear of dog towns like this one, and market towns like ones we'll see later on in the film, and of the legendary 9 cities, home of the League, where the best juggers in the world play the game. So what is the game? Well, each team has 5 players. The quick, who is the only person allowed to touch and handle the dog skull. What I call the flail, although the position goes unnamed in the film. Someone wielding a long, loose chain type of weapon whose job is to defend the quick. And 3 others who brandish staves with hooks on one end and clubs on the other, known as the drive, the back charge, and the slash. The slash seems to be the leader. On our team, the slash, Salo, is played by Rutger Hauer, a veteran who played in the League in the 9 cities, but lost his status after some indiscretion with a high lady. The drive and back charge are not identified clearly, but are played by Anna Katarina as Big Kimber and Delroy Lindo as Mbulu, in only his 3rd film role. The first quick, Dog Boy, is played by Justin Monjo, but of highest interest to me is the flail, young Gar, played by a young Vincent D'Onofrio, credited by his full name here, Vincent Philip D'Onofrio, in his 7th film role, post-Full Metal Jacket, but before playing the memorable Edgar in Men in Black, and his most recent turns as the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, in the various Daredevil series. Games are timed by a counter throwing stones against a sheet of metal. 3 periods of 100 stones each. The counter calls out 100 stones 3 times to initiate the match. As brutal as the matches are, when it is finished and the last stone has been thrown or the skull is good and staked, the players of both teams help each other up, bump fists and elbows, press foreheads together, and share their respect. The salute of the jugger. There is honor here. Now, earlier I mentioned the first quick. Well, Dog Boy gets severely injured at the hands of this Dogtown's flail because young Gar failed to protect him. The Dogtown team subs in a different quick for the second period, a young woman named Kita, who wants to leave this dirty life behind and see the world. She finishes the job on Dog Boy's leg, and although her team loses the match, Dog Boy is too injured to follow his team as they leave in search of a new town and a new game. Unfortunately, he gets left behind, and Kita, who was trailing after Salo's team in hopes of joining, gets recruited to be the new Quick. Kita is played by Joan Chen, who some of you might remember from the Twin Peaks series back in the day. And to be honest, I never gave her much mind while I was watching Twin Peaks, but in The Salute of the Jugger, I found her beautiful. Her acting subtle and convincing. She's nimble, lithe, like a fawn, and her character can talk smack. As our group of juggers, assisted by the team manager, Gandhi, played by Gandhi McIntyre, makes their way from town to town, they continue to win. And Kita learns more about the League and life in the 9 cities. She's especially interested in silk, which is described as the wind on your skin. And she contemplates how soft skin must feel without scars. Kita and young Gar start pressing Salo to make a challenge, to go to one of the 9 cities and play against professional juggers. Salo did that long ago and got noticed by the League. Kita and young Gar think they're good enough to get noticed too, but Salo shares a hard truth. He got noticed, it's true, but his team lasted only 26 stones, which was the longest any challenge had ever gone. They lost utterly, but 26 stones was enough to gain some recognition and earn Salo a place in the League. Even in the face of the apparent disparity between them and a truly professional team, Kita and young Gar do not give up, and eventually Salo starts to feel a fire ignite in his belly, and he makes the decision. They will make a challenge. Now, this is where I will stop. No spoilers. Is this the kind of sports film where they win or where they lose and learn and grow? Watch for yourself. But make sure you see the full version with its complete ending. A shorter version was made for North America called The Blood of Heroes, but I only watched The Salute of the Jugger, the original version, the rest of the world got to see. Both are now available on Blu-ray, and it is probably on demand somewhere in some form on some streaming service. I recently found it on YouTube, the full version, so you might get lucky and find it there too. The Salute to the Jugger is a gorgeously bleak film with amazing action and top-notch performances. It was written and directed by David Webb Peoples. He has quite the resume, let me tell you. He wrote Blade Runner and was the uncredited writer of Lady Hawk, both films with Rutger Hauer, so this would be their third collaboration. He also wrote 12 Monkeys. I suppose his most acclaimed work is Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven. Yes, he wrote Unforgiven too. Oh, by the way, Jugger, it became an actual sport and is played in well over a dozen countries. No dog skulls and less blood, though. If you like science fiction, watch this film. If you like sports movies, watch this film. If you like action or cinematography or percussive soundtracks or nuanced acting, or actors in early roles still making their names in the business, watch this film. If you've already seen it, let me know what you think. If you like this kind of post-apocalyptic science fiction movie and want to recommend other ones to me, please, I'd love to hear them. And if there are any sports films you think I should take a chance on and watch, I've seen some, but there might be more. Please, leave some comments, share your thoughts, experiences, opinions, and ideas with me. And if you're so inclined, please consider subscribing to my channel for more videos about entertainment of all kinds. And if this video was entertaining or informative or interesting to you in any way, please consider leaving a like. Thank you for watching. See you next time.